Phoenix has decided to turn his back on you all. He's not interested, but he's very interested in the studio, isn't he? So both of you, so lovely to see you with Phoenix. How old is he now, Sarah Jane?
11 months.
Oh, bless him, he's gorgeous. He's got saucer eyes, look at him.
Daddy's eyes.
Gorgeous. Yeah. So take us back to this episode, Ayden. What happened?
Well, I went for a meeting, as you do from time to time, to talk about upcoming storylines, and I was meeting with series producer Ian McLeod, who's now the top boss at Emmerdale. Yeah. And he told me about the development in Joe and Mercedes' relationship and how that she was pregnant from their tryst in France. But unfortunately, the pregnancy was going to end badly. It was going to end with a stillbirth. And I think, as people may or may not be aware, we'd already been through a miscarriage and things had been kind of difficult. And
you'd carried on working through...
Yeah, carried on working through that, and also had to carry on when my character in the show also had a baby, which would have been the same time as the miscarriage. So that was kind of difficult.
So what was your reaction when you heard that story was coming
It
up?
was horrific. I think I was a
Really?
bit of a nightmare. I've just freaked out. I screamed at him, threw my phone at him,
Did you?
and ran off and just said, I can't stay here. I can't stay here. Because we also found out that that he would be filming the stillbirth scene round at the same time that I was going to be giving birth to Phoenix. And because there'd been... Obviously, I'd had the miscarriage and he'd had a storyline running along the side of that where he was having a baby, and that baby was born at the same time as the baby that we lost was going to be born. I found that so difficult. And so when this then came up on another pregnancy and he was having another baby storyline running alongside it, my hormones and my natural sensibility meant that I was horrible to you.
She wasn't horrible. She just, you know, she
Well,
had
I think throwing a phone at you sort of creeps into the horrible category.
It wasn't really at me. I think the phone got slammed down on the floor, and you know, obviously she was really upset, and I anticipated that she probably would be. So we talked about it, and we talked about it for maybe a week or two, and it came to the thing that the best thing to do for certainly Sarah's health and well-being, which is the most important thing, was to see if I could get removed. Now, you know,
from the storyline,
which is difficult.
So whose decision was that in the end? It was Sarah. You'd obviously put a lot of pressure on.
I put a lot of pressure on him,
yeah.
and he took it really well.
Yeah, as you say, I mean, a miscarriage is so hard, and you are left with all the hormones without the baby, and
you're very angry.
Yeah,
I think what's hard about a miscarriage is, obviously, you kind of face it alone. Your partner is devastated, but as a woman, I think the minute you become pregnant, you become a mum. And so the miscarriage, I was very angry, and I don't think I felt that I could right that wrong until I'd had another baby, but I was petrified that something was going to go wrong in that. And actually, since I've written the blog, lots of women have written to me and said that they've been through a similar thing, and they have similar emotions, and the levels of anger are astonishing.
Well, that is your hormones along with the grief, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
So what was that moment like, Ayden, going in, speaking to the producer?
That was very difficult because, you know, my professionalism is important to me, and it's really not the done thing to go to your bosses and kind of say, I don't want to do this and I can't do this. So, you know, there was a very real fear. I remember saying to Sarah that you realise that they could very, very well turn around to me and say, you're doing it, because it's written. You know, these things are planned months and months in advance. So, you know, I absolutely understand from their point of view, you know, very, very well, you know, what it might look like. So I was very worried. Went to see Ian and just said, I'm very sorry, but I'm going to have to ask for you to get me out of this. Without losing my workload too much. And I said, look, I understand you may well turn around to me and say, well, we'll get someone else to do it, or you got to do it. But he was very, very understanding, and he understood where I was coming from, you know, told me that, you know, that I was an important part of the show, and that they would do everything they can, and so he went away and did that. And
the thing is, you would have done, as an actor, he would have totally have done it.
Yeah.
But I think what makes him a great actor is that he had the humanity to see and to care about me and Phoenix enough to ask
Yeah.
And he's very professional, and I know it nearly killed him to ask, but he obviously cares about us
And it's
awful lot.
all ended
It's ended
happily ever
beautifully.
after with a gorgeous, gorgeous little boy.
Yeah.
So lovely to see you both. And you looking so happy, Sarah
Well,
Jane,
and we're
now.
getting married next month.
Oh, my goodness.
Yes,
Oh, let's have a look at you. I wondered what was sparkling away there. Gorgeous. Oh, well, congratulations.
Thank you
That
very
is
much.
brilliant. So it really is a
hats.
story that's all ended happily ever after.
Thank you.
So much.
If you'd like to see even more great guests, then click here. There are plenty more fantastic interviews to come, so make sure that you subscribe.
If you're on a big storyline, the learning is just never-ending. But you kind of get on a roll after a couple of weeks if you're in the thick of it and doing 10, 12 scenes in a day. You know, the muscle is working, and you can manage it quite well.